Welcome to Comic and Screen. I am going to be giving my review of the Lego Batman movie, directed by Chris McKay, produced by Warner Brothers Animation. My family and I just went and saw it. I've got two young boys, preschool age, and my wife also. We were all excited to go see it. As a family, we're Lego fans. We're also big DC superhero fans, so we were pretty pumped for it, and it's cool to have a movie where all of us were really looking forward to it. So I'll give my reactions here. I know it just came out, so not all of you have maybe had a chance to see it yet, so I will try to stay spoiler free and just give general reactions and some comments about general ideas of the movie, but none of the specifics. I'll try to avoid those. So first of all, it's good to ground a movie review in the type of movie that it was or what it was going for itself. And so this is definitely a family movie that has, I think, a comedic goal as its primary aim. So a comedic family animated movie, and that's what it's going for. And so I'll try to kind of, comment on it in that respect because, one thing that a movie can do is it can execute itself well toward its goals, but it's also still within a genre. So even if a movie does its job really well and is well executed, it might be a type of movie that not everybody likes, so maybe it's a great action movie, but some people just don't like action movies, even if they're really well done or the best action movie of the year. Some people just don't like that kind of movie. For us, we all enjoy family animated movies, especially if they're written with kind of a theme and a character development and not just slapstick, really fast stuff that kind of goes crazy on the screen. Me, myself, and my family, we tend to like the family movies that have kind of a thread of storytelling and character arc and things through it, and have moments of slowing down and not just stuff flying around the screen all the time. So this one, I think, was going for the comedic family movie, and I think two things that this movie really has going for it is that it achieved its main goals. It was family friendly. My kids, myself, my wife, we all enjoyed it. I would say that, most families are going to enjoy it. It hit that nice mark of a good, well-written family movie that's fun and has the action to keep people entertained of all ages, but it also has some character development and character growth through it. So nice family entertainment in that way. And I think its primary goal is it was trying to be a comedy, and I think it was really good in that regard. I was laughing a lot at the movie. The theater I was in was laughing a lot with it. And it also has a lot of humor where it kind of goes by quickly, and in your mind you're like, wow, that was funny, that was clever, and there's a lot to even pick up on. So I think it has good rewatchability. But it really achieved the family tone, and it achieved, I think, the comedic goals. And then it had, I think, a lot even just on top of that, which made it even better. So I mentioned kind of character development being important. So this Lego Batman movie, I would say, had a really good character study and character arc for primarily Batman as the main character. I think that was really what was guiding the building and the putting together of this movie, was his character arc. But they did a really good job with it. It's easy to follow it, so in that way it's kind of for all ages. You can see like, oh wow, there's a character arc going on here. But the movie was really well constructed where basically everything, all the major components in the movie were serving the main character arc. So that goes for the villain. He fit into the arc, and he had kind of a counterpoint to the arc. Having the sidekicks involved, they were speaking directly to Batman's main character arc. And then even the plot and the events that happened, they fed into the character arc as well. So it's really this kind of tightly made creative work where it all fed and enriched the main character arc about Batman. I won't say exactly what that character arc is, but it was definitely there. I don't think you'll miss it. And in that way, it actually was like a real Batman story, like the good Batman comic books, the other, Batman movies. The ones that to me are the best are where we really learn something new about Batman, or we explore an aspect of the Batman character and we kind of get some more insight into that aspect of it. And this movie, even though it's just family entertainment and a comedy, it actually achieved that, where it gave us some new perspective into the Batman character, so that's cool. Another thing that I was pleasantly surprised about from this movie was all of the good references, and I thought that they handled the references well and had just the right amount of references. There were a lot of characters included, like an amazing amount of characters included, but they did it in ways that worked, where they were putting them into the screen or putting them into scenes, and they kind of knew tongue-in-cheek that they were putting a lot of characters into them. But for a DC fan, it's fun to see them on the screen in their kind of Lego incarnations. And the music, I think the composer and the musical team had a lot of fun putting in musical cues and musical echoes of music from previous incarnations, so there's some really nice references there. And they also will poke some fun at some other things. So they poke fun at the classic Batman from the 1960s, the TV show. They poke some fun at the DCEU cinematic universe. They poke some fun at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They poke some fun at and include some other Warner Brothers characters. And they're doing it where they're kind of teasing all those other incarnations or those other universes, but they seem to be teasing it in a friendly way. Like they will rib them in a kind of way that, oh, your friend would do to you, not in like a mean-spirited way. So I took all of it in a positive way, and I thought they had a really nice touch to it. I think just the right amount of those references. So that was kind of fun to see as well. It had good action scenes. So I mean, even though you maybe don't go to Lego movies thinking of it as, oh, some great action scenes, but this one had some really memorable action scenes, I think, that were handled well. And the pacing overall, I thought, was very good. At the beginning, there's quite a bit of frenetic action and a lot kind of flying around the screen. And so for a second, I was like, oh no, is this movie going to be like one of those animated movies that's just too busy and too fast-paced and everything's just rapid-fire hitting your eyeballs? I was worried about that, but then I realized they actually were doing that on purpose. That opening sequence is meant to be frantic to contrast with the kind of second sequence, which is it slows way down and it contrasts with that beginning. And then I realized, like, oh, they're actually setting this up on purpose, and it's the beginning of the character arc that I was alluding to earlier. So the pacing, they really knew what they were doing, and as it went forward into the movie, I could tell that they had things structured out well. And watching my two young boys, it was paced in the way where they kind of it kept their entertainment and kept their attention all the way through. So good stuff there. It definitely has a lot going on in it. And like I said, there's a lot of the comedy that I feel like I could watch it again and pick up even more of it. There's a lot of little jokes and Easter eggs hidden in the background. I picked up on some of them, but I'm sure there's tons that I missed. It seems to have a lot of rewatchability. That's my sense. Like, I would want to see it again pretty quickly. I think the kids would want to see it again. And I think it'll stand up well to rewatching it. I do have some minor quibbles, but I can't really mention any of those without getting into some of the details. But all of the problems that I had upon my first viewing were what I would call pretty minor, easy to overlook, just a little touch or a little thing that, you know, I thought maybe was missing or not tied up. But all pretty minor. The big stuff, like I said, I think they really nailed it. I would recommend this for pretty much anybody. I mean, unless you just don't like animated movies or you just hate, you know, anything superheroes. But I would say if you just are, you know, enjoy family movies at all, animated movies at all, definitely if you like anything DC or superhero, I think this one is really like broad-based in terms of who it might appeal to. And it's also, you know, you can just watch it for a light entertainment value, and it's fine that way. You can watch it for the deep cuts and the deep references to lots of DC stuff as well. So to me, really happy with it. It's easy for me to recommend it to lots of people. So hope it does well, and hope you get a chance to see it, and you can leave your thoughts on it in the comments.